So Malik, you guys' offense for the first 16 minutes was pretty good. You guys are scoring a nice rate, and then all of a sudden, when it just went away, any explanation of how it went from relatively hot to so cold?
Um, I feel like it's a lot of reasons. But as a team, we just got to come together and just figure it out. Nothing's easy, especially in this conference. So, we just got to watch film. And just get better. We got to get better day by day. We got a big game coming up Monday. So we can't do nothing about this game. We just got to put it behind us, watch film, get better, and take on Kansas State Monday.
Justin Jackson.
Hey, Malik, the start of the second half, I could be wrong on this, but I think Oklahoma State got like 14 of the first 16 points, and they were all in the paint. And that's kind of what got them up to that first 20-point lead before you guys started chipping away at it. But the early stretch of the second half, how important, or how much did that play in the final score today?
The way you start a game and the way you start the second half, that's very important. We all know that. And going into the second half, they were up 6. So it was still a close game. But that first 5 to like maybe 7 minutes, they just went on a crazy run. And, our goal was to make them a jump shooting team. But I think you said they were mostly layups or around the basket. So that was tough on us. And they just went on a crazy run. I'm not sure exactly what the score was within like the first media timeout, but I know they were up like more than like 12. So, that was very important. And, Coach definitely got on us about that. We can't start halves or games like that. So I feel like that was a big X factor in the game.
Greg.
Malik, obviously with losing, it's not easy. Attitude of this team, you guys still keeping positive thoughts, or is that a struggle?
So every game you lose, it's like it's rough on us, especially the coaching staff. They're not used to losing, and we're not used to losing. So every loss, it weighs on us, especially just coming off a win. We were just all happy, enjoying life. But when you lose, it's like you got to lock back in. Everybody has to focus. Everybody has to take it game by game because we in a good conference. Yeah, you too, bro. We in a good conference, so every game matters and every game is going to count for us. So we just got to take it game by game.
So the keys to turning it around, what do you guys got to do Monday?
Play hard. I feel like if we play hard, pay attention to scout and stop teams from doing what they do best, I feel like we'll be good. But I think it starts with us as players listening to the coaching staff, and just trying to execute offensively and get stops defensively. That's our motto for every game. And I think that, we just gotta execute and listen to the coaching staff.
Greg Carey.
Malik, you mentioned you wanted to make them a jump shooting team, but you felt they were able to get a lot of shots near the rim. Why did you think that was the case? What was kind of going wrong defensively that allowed that to happen?
They were getting downhill. They were getting to the basket, getting to the free throw line. They shot 30-some free throws. So they were just getting to the rim at will and dishing it off, throwing lobs. I feel like we just got to be better. That's all I could really honestly say about it. We haven't been playing up to par, so we need to figure it out as soon as possible.
And Justin.
Hey, Malik, rebounding the ball is something you guys have been talking about, all year, and it's been an issue at times. Today, I think it was 48-24. Was this the worst rebounding effort of the year? And kind of what goes into some of those possessions they were getting like 2 or 3 offensive rebounds in a possession. What goes into that?
You said it was 48-24?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Honestly, I have no comment about that. Honestly,
So Bob, for the first 16 minutes, the offense seemed to be flowing okay, but then all of a sudden it just went completely stagnant. From your view, what would you see?
We've had a hard time passing the ball all year. We weren't making any shots, Greg. We weren't, and I think I told you guys, we weren't making any shots in practice. I watched this in warmups. We weren't making any shots. We're going through that spell where you just don't, for whatever reason, don't make shots. And so we started doing some of the old stuff, you know, some of the screen to screener stuff. And I mean, we're open. We just don't throw them the ball. It's hard. The hardest thing with this team to do is find a guy to pass the ball, find a guy who can make the correct pass. And so we come off, we're open. We don't throw them the ball. And so then I'm like, I'm on them, throw it to the first open guy. Well, now they're looking at the first open guy. He's not open, but the screener is. And we don't give them a look. And so consequently, we don't get it close. And we're at a size deficit to start with. So a big size deficit.
Is that a big part? I mean, points in the paint again was a major factor. You guys are either sort of jump shooting or nothing. That's sort of been key all year. So
well, we got Big Boyd, and I don't know what to do. I don't know if you're just supposed to flop, or I don't know what you're supposed to do. I don't know how you defend it. I don't know how you defend a guy just taking it and backing into you.
Kevin Tinder.
Which on your answer to the first question, have you seen anything from guys at any point this year that they understand throwing it to the first guy, waiting for the second guy, waiting for the third guy? Or is it just they have never had to do it at previous stops? They've never gotten that. They've never been consistent at doing that.
I think there's a lot of reasons. I think the biggest thing is that kids don't get coached anymore. They play all summer on traveling teams. There's so much going on in high school gymnasiums that you can't do what they used to do. You can't be in there for 2 hours. You got to be in there for 45 minutes, an hour. It's hard to go over everything that you got to go over in a short period of time. I just don't think there's as much teaching, and it's not the teachers. Believe me, I'm not saying that. It's just there's not enough time to go over everything, the fundamental things that you need to know. To answer your question, no, we're not very good fundamentally, and we spent all summer trying to do it. But you know, there's a thing called neuromuscular integration, and when you do the wrong thing for a long time, it's counterproductive to doing the right thing. It makes it twice as hard to do the right thing when you've been allowed to do the wrong thing first.
Justin Jackson.
Coach, the first, I don't know, 6-7 minutes of the second half, how much of that was a microcosm of basically what happened in the game? I think they got like 14 out of 16 points in the paint during that stretch, and a lot of that was transition. Just how critical were those opening minutes of the second half?
Very critical. Very, very critical. Justin, let's talk honestly. We turn the ball over at an alarming rate, and we have all year. We don't have the guy drive the ball and absorb contact and score. We don't have the guy who can just big boy you, just grab it and bang you and
Right.
bounce it and bang you and bounce it and bang you again and score the ball. We don't have those guys. We bang somebody at one time, we lose the ball. And I think a couple of times we did it, we got called for the foul. So we don't have the personnel. We don't have the personnel to match up with some other teams. Now we have personnel to match up with some of the teams. We don't have personnel to match up with all the teams in our league.
Go ahead, Greg.
Bob, in your win over Oklahoma State earlier in the year, you guys dominated at the foul line. Big advantage. Turned around today. Was, again, a reason that you saw for that?
We're not very good at absorbing contact. I think that's the honest answer. We're not very good at absorbing contact, and so it's not called.
Mike Kazaza.
Hey, Bob, yesterday you were talking about your point guards and the different situations, and just listening to it sounded like you probably had some frustrations getting the ball into offense, and Kobe didn't play, and I think you called him your most steady guy yesterday. I'm just wondering if this was that kind of a dire situation for you and one of those rely on the veterans because you had to get out of it and had to get this game?
We had to score. Kobe's going to be a guy who can score, but he's not a guy who can score the ball now. In all honesty, we probably should have played Malik earlier than what we did. But he's a scoring point guard. He's not a pass first guy.
Thanks.
And if I had all the answers, we'd be a hell of a lot better team, I guess. I don't have all the answers.
Kevin.
I'm assuming the technicals on Gabe were for talking to the officials, and what was the aftermath of that?
Well, Gabe continues to run his mouth. I mean, he's been told that it's not going to continue. And he continues to do it. He got away with it. He got away with it a little bit early, and you get tired of it. You get tired of somebody squawking at you constantly. That's 100% his fault. He's been told. I told him. Larry told him. The official told him. They've tried to talk to him. Hasn't helped.